Oh, hey humans, it's Monday and that. Not that that matters, because we've decided to just upload when there are things to review instead of having specific days. Apart from on theme weeks, the first of which starts right now. So yes, it does matter. For this week's theme, we're going to be looking back on things that we used to really like when we were younger and see if we still like them or not. I was sort of torn between two different things for this, so I thought I would just review them both.
Aren't you lucky?
Okay, thing number one is Drakengard, a game that I used to be a little bit obsessed with when I was 10. You may have noticed the 16 rating, so well done, Mum and Dad. I should probably explain a little bit about it to you because it's a totally obscure game, you probably wouldn't have heard of it. Okay, basically the world is at war between these two armies, the Union, otherwise known as the good guys, and the Empire, otherwise known as the bad guys. You play as Kaim, a Union soldier who is a bit of a psychopath. It's implied that he has a thing for his sister, who also happens to be the goddess and therefore one of the seals that you're trying to protect. Yeah, simple enough. On top of this, Kaim is forced into a pact, which is where you share your souls with a beast or something, with a red dragon, and therefore has to give up his voice. Don't ask. The gameplay in Drakengard is pretty tedious. It's a hack and slash game, and you go around hacking and slashing people. The missions don't really offer much variety, but what does stop it from dragging is that at any time you can call your dragon, hop on her back, and just go around setting fire to everything. And everyone. So that's lovely. I'm probably not making this sound too appealing to you, but the one thing that really does redeem the game is its awesome storyline. It's still one of the darkest games that I've ever played. It's filled with morally dubious characters, and even though there are multiple endings, whatever happens, the world will go to shit eventually. There's one ending in which your sister gets resurrected as hundreds of demons who destroy the world. There's one in which giant babies get sent down from the sky and kill everything, and that might sound a bit stupid, but they are terrifying. They're terrifying. So in short, there are much more fun games than Drakengard, but if you're looking for something that has a really dark and different storyline to everything else, then you won't be disappointed. Also, the soundtrack's quite good. And now for something completely different. Thing 2 is Klay Off the Table. Now, the Klay series is pretty well known. It's a bunch of internet shorts about moronic blue clay people who live on the table. Something will happen, and then hilarity will ensue. But in 2005, their creator, Robert Benfer, who was like 18 at the time, decided to make a feature-length film out of Klay because, you know, that's the logical next step in that. That's just stupidly ambitious, isn't it? I mean, I have crazy ideas all the time, but I never actually do them. But as you can tell by the fact that I'm, like, holding a DVD, this is a thing that happened and is real. The premise of the film is pretty simple. There's alien contact, and some of the clay people decide to get a truck and venture out into the outside world for the first time ever. Now, I'm going to state the obvious here. It requires a little bit less attention to watch a 5-minute short than it does a 94-minute film. But somehow Robert Benfer manages to make it work. There's a pretty good variety of characters and decent character development as well, which is something I never thought I'd say about a film when none of the main characters have faces. Now, the bizarre humour in this is really similar to that of a Klay short. Anyone who's seen a lot of those will know that Robert Benfer chooses not to write any scripts, and instead just improvises pretty much everything. And bizarrely, this film is the same. The film naturally drags a little bit in the middle, and none of the outdoor scenes are as funny as the ones on the table, but somehow they managed to tie it all together in the end and have a coherent ending, which is just impressive. I can't really tell you whether you'd like Klay Off the Table, but just consider the concept of a 90-minute Klay short and work that out for yourself. It is well made, the animation and special effects are competent, and while I wouldn't really call it one of my favourite films, I'm not desperate to throw it away, and I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. I don't know if we have a rating system, but Klay Off the Table gets a 7 out of 10 just for the fact that it exists and isn't terrible. I think Drakengard would probably get a 7 out of 10 as well from me. Now go and make absurd, alarming, traumatising stop-motion babies or something. I think that's pretty much everything. Lucy, I really liked your video. I think the editing on it was just, it was so precise, it was incredible. If you could give me the number of the guy who edited that, that would be amazing. I'm a narcissist. One problem I did have with it, though, was that you mentioned the female characters that you didn't like, and one of them was called Ethel. What were you expecting? Oh my god. If you can find any likeable characters named Ethel in anything, you win a prize. Seriously, Ethel's the name that scriptwriters use when they're like, we really need an upper-class bitch in this episode. But seriously, it did make me want to watch Downton Abbey, and that's pretty impressive. Joel, your video was also good, and I can't really remember much about it, so I'm gonna go now. Bye.